Hi there, everybody, and welcome to the middle of the week, 616. And what I'm going to do now is talk a little bit about this analysis paper. The draft is due tonight, 616. Now, it is Wednesday. You know, a draft is due every Wednesday, and the final copy of the previous week's draft is due Sunday. If you would like an extra 2 days on this draft, you are welcome to have it. Okay. I will accept the draft through Friday, the 18th at 11:59. So, um, therefore, if you don't turn it in tonight, I won't count it as late. However, quite a few of you are behind in the papers. Um, you shouldn't worry too much about the quizzes and rough drafts and discussion boards. I would say worry a little bit about them, but all of those grades together average as 20% of your grade. Whereas one major paper is either 15 or 20% of your grade. So I'm almost finished grading your summary response essays. I have already commented on your literacy rough drafts, your literacy narrative rough drafts. So you should be looking at those comments. That paper is still due Sunday, the final copy. But we are now in the middle of working on the draft for analysis, which is our next unit. Now, I have posted several things on the analysis essay and in week 3 regarding how to write an analysis, what an analysis is, and also how to write beginnings and endings. And um, I will be posting more things on crafting an argument and a thesis and a topic sentence and all of the things that are necessary to understand in writing a closed form type essay. That is a thesis driven essay. So far, we have not written a thesis driven essay. Your summary and response was not, your literacy narrative was not. But now the next two essays will be. Now, what I'd like to do, I realize these are backward, but it's the best I can do because I found these um, ads online. I posted them on week 3, and there are 3 ads, and I just want to go over them a tiny bit. I do not want to take away from what you're going to write about the ads and analyze them, but I want to go over what they mean first. That way, you're in a better state to be able to choose one. Um, Speaking of the ads, remember you do have the first part of your discussion board due tonight. Okay. So look at discussion board number 3 and go ahead and choose one of the ads to do some free writing about. Um, anyway, this first ad, if you scroll down a little bit, so let me scroll here, and you'll see, if you're looking at it forward, that it comes from the World Wildlife Fund. We're going to assume, and I actually not assume, we know that all 3 of these ads were print ads. They were printed in a magazine. Okay. So they weren't just made for the web, they weren't billboards, they weren't TV ads, they were print ads. This one is for World Wildlife Fund. And you can see at the bottom, before you even look at the ad itself, exploiting the ecosystem also threatens human lives. For a Living Planet, WWF.org. So the writing is important. You look at the ad, and of course, the first thing you might notice is the shark fin on the left, because our eye is drawn to the left first. And the shark fin in the ocean says horrifying. And then you look immediately to the right, and it's more horrifying. Well, think to yourself, if this is the World Wildlife Fund presenting this ad to us, why would they call it more horrifying that the shark is not in the ocean? So that is something to consider. The whole idea of why the World Wildlife Fund calls it more horrifying is because we're exploiting our resources. Sharks are an endangered species. So Think about that and the meaning. Also, think about um, all of the different questions that I asked on slide 6 in this analysis PowerPoint. So I'm going to scroll down here. And analyzing texts. That is also a Google, not a Google, YouTube video. And when you see this, the sixth slide, and I've actually gone through all of those questions. That sixth slide has a lot of different questions that you can ask yourself about whichever ad you're choosing. Okay, so that's ad number 1. Now you can also pick ad number 2. Ad number 2 has the words me in the center. And you look at the colors, you look at design, you look at words, you look at the way it's all set up. This is analyzing a text, breaking it down, and these are particularly visual texts. You can do the same thing with a written text, but we're working on visual texts this time. Think about design, color, words, choices. So the words me are there. How to build a lasting relationship. Cut on dotted line, rotate 180 degrees. So if you cut out the word me, what would happen if you rotated 180 degrees? It would become we, of course. So you scroll to the bottom of this and you see, if you want a stronger marriage, work on it together. For tips, marriage class incentives, and resources in your area that can improve the health of any relationship, visit our website, strongermarriage.org. And there's 2 wedding rings there combined to show the notion of we. The words there go along with the print. And you can think about all of the elements together that create this advertisement. Remember, your thesis for any one of these ads can be analytical, it can be argumentative, it can be persuasive, but it's ultimately making an argument. You're not stating a fact. So your thesis, if you choose this ad, would not be, this ad has the word me in the center, and it means that we should focus on marriage. Well, we know that. What is it about the ad or the culture or the context or the society that perhaps draws us to this ad, that persuades us to have a stronger marriage, that persuades us to visit strongermarriage.org? I actually visited this website, strongermarriage.org, and it is a governmental run program for the state of Utah that has many different resources available if you click on them. Pamphlets, readings, videos, and even different free workshops that you can attend if you live in Utah to help create a stronger marriage. So that is this particular ad. And then finally, we have the third ad, which is a little more lighthearted, as I think we're getting from more serious to a tiny bit less serious, and then the least serious here. And before we see the McDonald's in the bottom right, we see that it's a red background. We see the symbol for Wi-Fi that we have on our phones and on our tablets and on our computers and our devices, but you can tell that that symbol is made out of fries, French fries. And then in the bottom corner, we have the McDonald's logo, love free Wi-Fi. And one thing you want to remember is that I'm not sure about the current ad for McDonald's, but if you remember, and you would only have to do a tiny bit of research to do this, but I'm telling you right now to tell you about it, that Lovin' It, Lovin apostrophe, it, Lovin' It, was McDonald's catchphrase for a long time. So the love free Wi-Fi goes along with the old catchphrase of McDonald's. And this is a thesis that you could write about the cultural context of McDonald's, what it means, why we all love free Wi-Fi, All of those kinds of things can go into an analysis of this ad, as well as the use of color, the lighthearted, non-serious demeanor, the matching of the yellow colors, the use of fries as the Wi-Fi sign. All of those kinds of things can be discussed when you look at this particular ad. So anyway, those are the 3 ads. I gave you a little bit of information about all of them. Remember, your discussion board is still due tonight. However, your rough draft for the analysis essay, you can wait until Friday to turn that in. And whenever you turn that in, I'll start looking at it. Okay. I am, like I said, in the process of grading your summary response. Some of them I've done. In fact, I finished over half. So if you have a grade on that paper, go ahead back to it, open it, and see why you got the grade that you did. And I made comments on your paper just like I did for your rough draft. This is what I'll do for the rest of the semester, which is really only 2.5 weeks. So we've already gone through half of the semester, approximately. We're in week 3, the middle of week 3, and we have 5 total weeks. So let me know if you have any questions. Write me an email. We can set up a time to talk online and check your grades and go ahead and work on discussion board number 1 for tonight. Okay, that's all I've got for now, and bye-bye.